This week, we have a ton of new things on the Pearl store, including the Seraph Seal trade-ins, a new RNG box, the Forgotten Ancient Treasure Chest, and of course, even more Pearl boxes. We'll go over the value of all items and the spending priority for most players. So let's start with the Forgotten Ancient Treasure Chest. I already calculated the value in a separate video, and at base price, this box is one of the better RNG boxes we've seen for crons and general items. What we want to look at here is how it compares to the other items on the Pearl store, along with which packs actually make sense to buy. One really important thing to keep in mind is that these RNG boxes are only really used to convert pearls into crons. They aren't going to give you any additional quality of life for your BDO account. They're really just about converting real money into silver equivalents or gear progression. If you care about cosmetics or permanent quality of life upgrades, the Seraph Packs later in the video is what you should focus more on. Now, you can buy the Forgotten Ancient Treasure Chests individually at 470 pearls, but at this base price, it gives about a 79% discount equivalence compared to buying the random assortment of items in this box, and a 74% discount equivalence compared to buying premium outfits. Now, even though this is really good for an RNG box, at this stage of the game, we're really looking for a value closer to an 80% or more discount equivalence when converting crons into pearls. What that really means is that we want at least 1.5 cron per pearl spent. Now, it sort of makes sense why the treasure chests aren't that great at base price. No player is really going to be buying these boxes individually and at 470 pearls each. They'll likely buy them a part of some bigger pack in the Pearl store or with some discount coupons. And that's exactly where the bigger packs come in. First, we have the smaller 1+1 pack at 470 pearls. As I always say, these middle price packs are pretty good, and 1+1 packs are some of the best value purchases in the entire Pearl store. This is because you're basically buying this pretty decent RNG box at 50% off. This pack does reset every Monday, so I would definitely recommend any player who likes RNG boxes to pick these up every week. Even if the only RNG box packs you ever buy are the 1+1 packs, you'll end up with far better value per pearl compared to someone who only buys the larger bundles. After that though, we have the 20x, 50x, and 70x packs, which are all essentially the same pack, just scaled up with slightly better seal efficiency at the higher packs. For simplicity's sake, we'll focus on the 70x pack since it gives the best value per pearl of the three. All these packs sell the RNG boxes at 15% off. With this discount, the 70x pack costs close to 28,000 pearls and includes 20 bonus seals, which is pretty close to an 83% discount equivalence for all items or 79% off for crons only. That's pretty good at about a 1.4 cron per pearl. It's good, but also not that crazy. Again, it's not at that 1.5 level that we really look for. However, this sort of still makes sense, as this is an initial release of this RNG box, and we usually want to combine the bigger packs with discount coupons or a Pearl Blessing spending event to get the best value. Since we don't have a Pearl spending event or a really high discount coupon, I would only recommend buying the 70x pack if you have a 30% off coupon or greater. With a 30% off coupon, it becomes a pretty great pack. However, if you start going down to 20% off or lower, it starts to look a lot less impressive, and honestly, some of the older RNG boxes with the greater sales might even beat it. Again, because we don't have any large coupons of 35% off or more, or any big Pearl spending event, even though this RNG box at base is pretty great, it's really not a must buy with the current Pearl store environment. Getting 1 to 2 packs with any leftover 30% off coupons may be all there is to it for most players. Remember that we still have the 25x premium outfit pack that can be combined with the loyalty store 50% off apparel coupon. That gives very competitive crons for your pearls and isn't reliant on RNG. It's also another way to get a 30% off coupon, so I would prioritize that pack over most of these RNG boxes. Now, this week, there are also some RNG boxes with the Seraph Packs, but they aren't really there for cron value. They're really just there for getting the Seraph crests and cosmetics. They simply won't be competitive for purely converting pearls into crons, so we'll talk about those later when we talk about those Seraph cosmetics. Now that we've covered the best way to convert pearls into crons this week, let's talk about the pearl packs themselves because there are really a lot of them running right now. Even with the introduction of the new 10 to 30% off discount coupon pearl packs, we still have to follow the age-old rule of prioritizing the 1+1s. Always be sure to prioritize these 1+1s as they give the best pearls for your money. Not exactly a 100% bonus, but really pretty good and some of the best value you can ever get. After that though, the special bonus pearl pack, what used to be the 2+1 pack, is still a very solid option, sitting at close to a 50% bonus. It is pretty decent if you want the extra pearls and want to spend a little bit more money than the 1+1 packs. Only after buying those packs should you even consider the discount coupon pearl packs. While they are technically better than buying pearls at base value, coupon packs tend to scale very poorly and usually offer much less value than 1+1 or the bonus pearl packs. Because of that, these are really only worth looking at if you've already bought the higher value pearl packs and still need pearls for a specific reason. For most of your mid-tier spenders, these coupon packs are a very easy skip. They mainly exist for higher spenders who are already planning to buy a large amount of pearls or consistently buy pearls at base value. So now that we know the best pearl packs, let's look at the Seraph Packs. These are the most interesting packs this week because they're tied to the Seraph crests, which can be traded in for limited cosmetics. The two cosmetic rewards are the Seraph weapon skins, which cost 4 crests, and the colored Seraph title, which costs 2 crests. As far as we know, these are exclusive to this event and we might not see them in the future, so for a lot of players, this is the main reason to even look at these packs. However, on top of the cosmetics, there are also a lot of sealed weight, which is pretty good. Sealed weight can push you above the normal weight cap, they stack, and can be used on any character. It is a surprisingly interesting element to this Seraph sale, as they don't come up very often and can give some pretty great quality of life for life skillers and some grinders. You can get up to 1,350 extra weight from this sale, which is honestly pretty great. So what are some of the best ways to get these Seraph crests? A pretty easy one is going to be the Alien's Calling pack, which is a very cheap 1,271 pearls and a great way to get one Seraph's Conviction crest. On top of that, you do get a decent buff and a choice to get it made. The actual value for your pearls of this pack isn't really that high, but that pretty much is the story for all these Seraph packs. If you don't want the exclusive rewards or the sealed weight, you pretty much should avoid all of these packs. That being said, the sealed weight packs are going to be your next logical step. Each one gives you 350 weight and a crest, and value-wise, they line up roughly with a standard 20% off weight sale. Weight is currently 30% off and occasionally go on bigger discounts, but since this is a sealed weight which can be used even if you have max weight on a character, and it also comes with a seal, the premium sort of makes sense. The final pack though that includes a 250 sealed weight is the General Alien's Night pack. This is way more expensive at 6k pearls, but does include 3 seals. It is a lot more of a general pack and more weighted towards making people spend a lot of pearls on random items and seals, but it is still one of the better pickups compared to the other packs as it gives sealed weight and 3 seals. So if you've gotten all the packs so far, you should be at a pretty decent 6 seals. And on top of that, have the 1,350 additional weight on almost any character. This will probably be enough for most players, but if you do want all the weapon skins, the 400 weight, and the title, you'll still need 2 more. Now, for the final packs, this one sort of becomes a toss-up. You're not really going to be getting that much value for your pearls. The 3,300 outfit pack is the cheapest way to finish it off, and not bad if you want those specific outfits, but since those outfits are sold quite a lot, they're a lot less exclusive these days. If you're going to melt them into crons, this pack is definitely not worth it. Now, the only other way to get your 2 seals is going to be through the RNG box packs. As I always said with these RNG boxes, they're just really low value for what they are. Every time PA sells any of these boxes like the Ultimates or the Transcendent Enhancement boxes, which were supposed to be reach rewards from RNG boxes, they always overvalue them by quite a lot, and that also goes the exact same for the Radiant Glyph treasure chests. They really are super low value for their pearls, giving closer to a 60% off discount equivalence, which is honestly pretty mediocre. That being said, the 4,760 Radiant Treasure Pack may be the best way to get your remaining 2 seals, and if you don't want the outfits from the outfit box, it's definitely better than buying those outfits and melting them into crons. So that's basically it for the Seraph packs. Most players realistically won't need all 8 Seraph crests, but there are some viable ways to get them if you care about the cosmetics or the sealed weight. Now, looking at the Pearl store as a whole this week, it's honestly completely fine to not spend that much. We don't have a Pearl Blessing spending event, and we don't have access to the higher end coupons. So even though there is one of the best RNG boxes available, the overall value just isn't as high as it could be. If you don't have at least a 30% off coupon to use on the Forgotten Ancient Treasure Chest packs, the 70x pack really doesn't become that attractive. The only thing I would really recommend doing every week is buying the 1+1 box, as that's a really good deal. For most players though, using the loyalty store 50% off apparel coupon on the 25 premium outfit pack will probably be the extent of what they do, as that is the easiest way to avoid RNG and still get a decent amount of crons. After that, picking up the 70x pack with a 30% off coupon can be reasonable if you still have spare pearls after grabbing any Seraph cosmetics or sealed weight that you care about. Honestly, the limited sealed weight from the Seraph packs is one of the more interesting parts of this sale, since it offers a long-term quality of life for a character, which is often more impactful than just picking up more crons. Other than that, the 50% off character coupon is also a pretty decent deal if you still need character slots. Keep in mind that we do have some outfits coming for the winter event, so it might be wise to save some pearls for that event if you care more about cosmetics. But with that being said, I do hope you all learned something from this video, and I hope to see you all next time.